Why, hello again from Central Virginia. I know the last couple of videos have been from the western part of the United States. We finally got a vacation in for the first time really since COVID time. So that was exciting. That was the good news. The bad news is we both came down with COVID. That was not so much fun, but we're on the rebound now. While we were away, we transitioned quickly from fall, early fall with the leaves and everything to full blown heavy frost. Everything's pretty much done for the season. So, having been away for a couple of weeks and now back, I'm going to take a look and kind of begin to put together a to do list for the next couple of weeks for myself here at the garden. Well, look at this. Just a couple of little roses still on. It's gotten so cold over the last couple nights, but maybe that one was just a little protected. So pretty much everything is done. Obviously, there's still some cabbages and some broccolis that are sprouting up in here under the brassica tunnel. Now, something that will be really nice to harvest are these glorious green glazed collards, and they actually get much better with the frost. So that's something to look forward to. Yep, going down through the garden, everything. This is the Trumbacina squash that fell down because it got uh, damaged, obviously, by the frost. So those did not get harvested, but that's okay. I'll just throw them in the compost and they'll become part of the compost. Something else that's here and that will be good to harvest in the coming time are parsnips. I'm not going to harvest them yet, although I could. They're nice and big in there. I can feel them. Ooh, that one's a good 2 inches wide. So I'm going to leave those in. The parsnips really are great as the weather gets cooler and cooler. So I'm not going to take them out yet. I could, but I'm not going to do it yet because I just want them to really sweeten up. I've got a lot of to do in here, which includes clearing out the old plants and prepping the beds. This parsley, which I planted from seeds so long ago, is actually just getting going here, and that's very hardy. It'll last in this climate for a good long while. My sister was good and she harvested all of the peppers and everything she could before the frost came in. But yes, every garden has its time, and this garden's time was definitely done. I have some beets, which I'm going to go ahead and pull, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a beet. Give me a beet. Under this tunnel are things that are frost hardy. These are some Brussels sprouts. And there's some lettuce in there. So those are fine. Ooh, look at those gorgeous lettuces. Yeah. Lettuces do fine in the frost. Oh, back in the back here, we've got some leeks that are coming along. This is a tomato plant that obviously did not make it through. So those leeks I'm just going to leave in to carry on. There's some carrots in a bag, which we'll just leave in. They'll keep going fine too. Well, outside the garden, pretty much everything is gone. My sister harvested most of the pumpkins. We have a huge pumpkin harvest. So the to-do list will be to add a whole layer of hay in here. I might throw in some compost or some alfalfa pellets just to kind of enliven that ground a little bit. I'll be pulling out all of the dead things. I'll be leaving the roots in the ground because I can help aerate and break up the soil and provide nutrients it's good for soil life. But I'll cut everything else off and we'll be throwing those aside. Boy, there was a lot of vegetable matter here. So we'll do hay, a lot of hay, add another big, probably, a thick layer of hay in these beds right here where the pumpkins were, and they'll be used again. See what happens when the frost hits. Here's a snake bean that didn't get et, and it's just totally squishable. So the to-do list is mulch, mulch, baby, and it's a good thing I got my hay. I'll be mulching down the blueberry rows. Uh, and just, it's going to be a big cleanup. So I'll take you along on that cleanup journey, but there's not a humongous rush. This is amazing to me that these snapdragons are still going, even though it got down to 26 degrees and things really got zapped hard. Now, things like this is oregano, and it's hardy, so it'll keep going during the winter time. And so will those onions. Now, a couple weeks ago, I planted the first garlic, and it is sprouting already. And you can see that I mulched it heavily, but I'll be mulching down again. But all that garlic is coming up. It'll grow, it'll establish some roots, and then it'll get real beaten up during the winter, and then it'll revive again with the spring. So let's see what we got planted. It looks like some of the northern white sprouted. It looks like some of the music is starting to sprout. Let's hear the music. This was Lortz. So there's one Lortz here and in there and there. So we got good sprouting so far. We'll see what else happens with that. I'm sorry I missed the last of the beautiful zinnias, but you know, that happens. Now, if this is a winter project or early spring, I'm going to be going ahead and adding some wood mulch pads in between these permanent rows of the blackberries because it's just too hard to mow in the summertime. I'll be adding additional nutrient hay level to this bed here. This is the experimental bed that I started from the overturned sod, and then I put the hay all around it. I'll be smothering this bed up again as we go. This is where I had melons and some pumpkins growing as well. So that's all, you know, that's been a great success. We got a whole lot of cantaloupes, big, huge cantaloupes out of here. And a dozen, easily a dozen of the Seminole pumpkins off of this one vine that was growing here. So can't complain about that. Here's was a butternut squash. So I'll be adding probably some more wood chips all along the perimeter paths just to keep whacking back the grasses. I'll be trimming all these grasses down. I'll be adding additional hay all along these external borders, which were essentially just done with hay. So lower garden chores will be pulling plants, freshening up the beds, getting them ready for the winter time, and mulching them down heavily. The external beds will all be mulched heavily with hay. The internal beds I'm going to try to do with dried ground up leaves if I can. I'll probably put some alfalfa down and some compost as much as I can get my hands on. So that's a big task, and that's going to take a good while to do all of this garden space, but it's worth it.